So in this video, we're going to go over how to set up your Thinkorswim charts just for a basic setup. We're not trying to do anything too crazy. We just want some moving averages. You want to see your candles show up. You want to see the volume. And you just want a clean, simple setup just for you to get started. All right, so we are in Thinkorswim Platform. I'm using a Mac computer. You could go to thinkorswim.com. tdameritrade.com and download Thinkorswim Platform for your laptop or PC. So I like to start with the actual system settings, which you could find in the upper right corner, right where you see setup, and go to application settings. Here you could see the basic settings of the entire platform. These you don't really have to mess around with for basic chart setups. The first one that you should be looking at changing would be system and then quote speed. Usually it starts out at delayed, maybe 3 seconds, but you would have to change that to real time so there's no delay. All right, next up, the next one you could use is probably nothing on this screen, right? You could check out each of mine and see if they match up, but I can't really see anything that stands out for a basic setup. All right, once you are good to go, you could hit apply settings and you could keep on moving to the next step, which would be the chart setup. And the goal is to have these two moving averages pop up. This yellow line is my 50 EMA. EMA stands for exponential moving average. And we're going to start here at studies. All right. You could go to studies, hit edit studies. And these are my two moving averages. It says move average exponential. You could find these here on the left by typing in MOV AVG, and you're going to see a bunch of these pop up. Exponential is right here, and you could hit add selected and it pops up here on the right. So this would be my third one. Right now, if you want to change the number, aka frequency, of this moving average, you could hit this side button on the right. Right, that is your settings. Now we're gonna change this 9 where we see length into whatever number you want to see. Maybe you want a 21 or a 200 moving average, and that is how you would get it done. You could change the color here to whatever color you like. We could maybe pick purple, and you could hit, but before you hit OK, you could just make sure that these settings are okay, how you like it. You could change the style of the line if you want, and see if it matches up here. So we'll just hit OK and apply. Once you hit apply, that line you just created, which was your moving average, pops up onto the platform. All right, so that is moving average, and you could play around with that. You could go to different time frames, and you're going to notice that the moving average changes. This purple line isn't in the same location, right? So that's just one thing to notice. Second thing we're going to do is make sure your volume shows up red and green. So we're going to go back, not studies, right? We're going to actually go to the settings for the charts, which is right here on this icon. And now we could see some information about the volume. Now this button is if your volume looks like it's overlapping. You could hit that and notice the volume overlaps the price. That doesn't look pretty readable. So I like to make sure that we're not overlapping the volume and price. It's in a separate box. That's how you change that. Let's see if we have anything else on this screen that we might want to change. not that I see. Now we're going to go to price access. Feel free to match yours up with mine. There's nothing that I could see that you guys would need to change. The time access. Now I took off corporate actions, and corporate actions are like these little bubbles that pop up to let you know what events are happening. Expansion to the three bars. That means I have 3 bars of space in between here. You can make it 50 bars if you want more space, no bars if you don't want any. I took these off, right? This shows lines as part of a grid, and these are the reasons why I took all of them off, because I want completely black background. Now you can switch here to choose your time frames. All right, the time frames are what you feel like works best for you. I like using the monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute, and 1 minute. On the left side tells you how much of a period you'll be looking at. In other words, how far back you'll be able to go on these charts, right? So I'll be looking at, well, for the top one, we're looking at the 1 minute chart for the last 5 days. This one, we're looking at the 5 minute chart for the past 30 days. And this is the 15 minute chart for the last 90 days. And here we have the 1 day, which is the daily chart for the last 10 years. And then we have the weekly chart for the maximum that we could possibly view it for. Same thing, monthly maximum. So you could add your time frames here. So yeah, the time interval is how far back you'll be able to see the previous price action. We're going to hit max, and this one we're going to put for the actual candle. This is going to be the time frame that you want to look at. For example, if you want the weekly time frame, you're going to hit the week, and that's your aggregation period. The time interval is how far back you could go. So I could go just 10 years of information, or I could go for the max, right? And then you'll just hit add right there. Now I already have the weekly time frame for the maximum amount of time shown already on my chart. So if I hit add, it's already going to be there. But if I want to add maybe the weekly, but for only 10 years, and I add it, there you go, it pops up. Now if I want to move this up or down on the chart, I could do that. If I want to edit it, I could change it here. Maybe I only want the last 3 years. Then it shows up, okay, 3 years. All right, so you could delete it if you want to, and that's that. You can have fun, have as much time frames or as little as you want, but this is what I use. Now, appearance of the actual candles, sometimes it's not filled in, right? This red candle was not filled in when I first started, and I had to hit that button. I had to, well, the wicks should be there, but that's how you change it. And if you don't like the grid, which is these lines, then you could take it off. I hit grid. And the volume bars, I like to put color as symbol ticks instead of the preset color, right? So whatever this color is, the volume will match it. And that is what I like to use. I hit apply, and then you can hit OK. For equities, I believe I unchecked all of these because I didn't want them showing up. Now, if you don't want the pre-market gray box that is usually shown, right, you don't have to, right? I'm going to cancel everything and come right back. So I'm going to come right back to where we went, equities. And what this would do would highlight extended trading session. If you hit that, since we're on a weekly, it's not going to show it, right? So I'm going to hit OK and go to time frame, intraday time frame. So the 15-minute time frame, now it's showing that the gray areas are the times when the market isn't open. This is after hours and then pre-market. Only the black area is the open hours. All right. So that is how you could take the gray box off if you don't want to see it which I could come back to settings, go to equities, hit highlight or unhit it, right? And hit apply. There you go, straight black. All right, so now you have your moving averages, you have your candlesticks looking proper, you have your volume looking proper, you got the background looking nice and clean, and you don't got much stuff hanging around in the background. All right, so that is a basic chart setup on Thinkorswim. If you ever want to save your settings, you could hit style, save style, and you could click name it whatever you want, so that next time you want to change your style, right? And your style is pretty much how you set up your volume, candles, your actual candlesticks, all of that. You could load up your styles if you want to have access to it again, or if you're switching computers, it will automatically pop up, or if you're on your phone, it's automatically going to pop up. If you want to do the same thing for your indicators, then you could save the set of indicators. They call it study. And when you're ready, you could load it whenever you want to switch laptops or whatever the case is. But yeah, you just save it one time and you don't have to do it again. So that's the end of the video, guys. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you felt like this video was helpful. And hit me up on Instagram if you got any questions. Peace.